What's up? It's Jesse here from Seduction Science, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you the 7 unfair advantages you will have being a tall, good-looking dude when it comes to attracting girls and dating them. That's right, I'm detailing the 7 unfair advantages and exactly how beautiful women respond to attractive men. And if you're a tall guy or attractive guy, this video is going to help give you more confidence. Because believe it or not, I've coached men who are tall and good-looking, and yet they lacked confidence in themselves, and that was a huge problem for them. So just watching this video, it can go a long way to making you feel better about yourself and your prospects with girls. On the other hand, if you're a short guy or say maybe not the most attractive man out there, well then this video serves an entirely different purpose, because there's many different ways to improve your physical appearance, and I'm gonna help light a fire under your butt to do the necessary little things to improve upon your looks. Because frankly, there's a lot of just pure nonsense in the pickup industry around looks. The common wisdom is either looks don't matter, which is simply flat out plain dead wrong. Or the common wisdom goes that the effect of looks is very small. You know, along the lines that a really attractive guy, maybe he's got an extra 60 seconds, maybe an extra 2 minutes of extra time to make a good impression on the girl. And that simply isn't true either. I mean, sure, yeah, if you're an attractive guy and you have no game whatsoever, I mean, absolutely no game whatsoever, like you go up to a pretty girl and you just freeze up and you go mute, then sure. In that extreme case, yeah, you only get an extra minute or 2 before she gets bored with you and leaves. But assuming that you do study pickup and you do study game like on this channel here, then your advantage of being this tall, attractive dude is way more than just getting an extra 60 seconds at the beginning. And in this video here, I'll be giving you the 7 big advantages that you've got. And at the end of this video, I'll also be explaining to you the 2 big disadvantages that attractive guys have, which usually just destroy, just obliterate good-looking guys when it comes to the results in dating. 2 disadvantages, I'm afraid, that you probably never thought of or even realized before. And let me tell you, those 2 disadvantages are pretty eye-opening and surprising, so be sure to stick around to the end of the video and not miss those. And of course, if this is your first time on the channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And that's important because there's a lot of mainstream nonsense out there marketed to sell you overpriced razors and face creams, whereas this channel is about bringing you the truth. You see, I've been teaching men charisma enhancement back since 2002, and I have made this my passion. So it's something you want to pay attention to and subscribe to. Now that all being said, let's crack right into it. Scientific studies have shown that attractive people are seen as being smarter, as more deserving, as more trustworthy, as healthier, as more socially dominant. It's long been known that attractive people earn more money. And there's these social experiment videos where the girl will dress up, she'll get her makeup done, she'll get her hair done, and she'll collect 4 or 5 times more money collecting donations compared to when she's just dressed plainly. But we're gonna look at your advantages, specifically being an attractive guy in the context of meeting women. So the first advantage of being a tall, attractive guy is that the girl will often start at the social hook point instantly. So typically, for an average looking dude, you walk on up to that girl, you start talking to her, and for the first few minutes, she's gonna be like, who is this guy? What does he want? He's not gonna kill me, right? He's not a serial killer, is he? You know, maybe not that extreme, but she's gonna have some skepticism. She's just trying to feel you out, see what you're about. And then, as an average looking dude, after a couple of minutes of talking to her, you've demonstrated your personality, you've shown her that you're this cool, charismatic dude, that's where you hit the social hook point. The social hook point being that she's comfortable with you being there. At that point, maybe she starts investing back into the conversation as well. And it's those first few minutes that are usually the hardest for a guy, where you feel that pressure on you to make the girl like you, where you feel like there's a lot at stake in terms of being rejected or not. But now, in terms of the tall, good-looking guy, a lot of times, as soon as he opens his mouth, he's got that social hook point instantly. From that very first microsecond, the girl is cool and comfortable with him talking to her. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean she likes him. It doesn't mean she's gonna sleep with him. She's still gonna feel him out, see what he's about. But the advantage of the tall, good-looking guy is that the girl is automatically engaged. I'm gonna give you an example here. Imagine now a very average-looking guy. He sees a girl, he goes up to her, he opens her with a line, and then he just stops talking. Imagine he opens her and he just stops talking completely. He just stands there with his mouth closed, looking at her, and he creates this one long, super awkward pause. Imagine our average looking guy, he's doing the social experiment where he just goes quiet and he just stares her down. The girl is gonna think, all right, you are a weird dude, and she's just gonna walk away. Now let's imagine a tall, good-looking guy for a moment. He does the exact same social experiment. He goes up to the girl, he opens her with a line, and then he just stops talking. He just stops talking. He looks at her, creates this long, awkward pause. But because the good-looking guy has that social hook point instantly, the girl will attempt to keep the conversation going. She might ask him a question like, so what's your name? But she's gonna say something to break the tension of that awkward pause. So that's simply an advantage that good-looking guys have. He starts at the social hook point right away. The second advantage of the tall, good-looking guy is the girl actually wants you to win. For a moment, I want you to think of the girl as a soccer football goalie. And she's got that net behind her. She's defending the net. And through her life, different guys are coming up to her with a soccer ball, trying to take shots on her, trying to get that soccer ball past her into her net. And it's a bit like a game to her where she's like, all right, guys, come on, show me what you got. Take your best shot on me. Let's see what you're made of. And for a regular guy, you better believe she's gonna really defend that net. She's not gonna let your ball pass if she can help it. Now, a regular looking guy can certainly score on her. And if he scores, she's gonna be happy about it. She's gonna be like, dude, you scored on me. I like that. I like you. But if you haven't scored, and as long as you're still taking shots on her, she's gonna be like, oh, please, that's the best you've got? Dismissed, go home, get out of here, little boy. But it's a little bit different when you're this tall, good-looking guy. In that case, she kind of wants you to score on her. I mean, don't get me wrong. She's still going to defend her net. She's still going to play the game. You take a shot with the soccer ball, and she's still going to jump in front of it, try to block it from going in. But you see, there's kind of a thing going on where she kind of secretly does want you to score on her. And if you're this tall, good-looking dude, well, that girl, she's going to be a little bit disappointed. Disappointed that your game simply wasn't there. So when you're that good-looking guy and you're about to take that shot on her to get that ball past her and into the net, she might help you out a little. She might give you a tip. She might give you a little hint. Hey, good-looking dude out there, come on, take a shot, see if you can get it past me. But I gotta tell you, I'm a little slow running to my left. Hey, good-looking dude, come on, take your shot. Oh, and by the way, I sleep late on Sunday mornings, so you might imagine I'll be a little bit groggy defending my net that day. So why don't you come back on Sunday and try again? So yeah, don't get me wrong, for a tall, good-looking dude, the girl is still going to defend her net, but she's kind of hoping inside too that you're actually going to score on her, and she'll help nudge you in the right direction to make it happen. Now, the third advantage of being this tall, good-looking guy is that it makes you much more engaging to the girl automatically. So even if you've got awkward pauses in the conversation, even if you start making mistakes, the girl will tend to just overlook it and stay engaged anyway. Whereas for a regular dude, on the other hand, if you fumble the ball, you drop it, you let the conversation get too serious, if you let the energy meander all over the place or even go backwards, if she can't figure out your intention and it's confusing, like, why are you even talking to me? Or if the interaction just feels awkward, after some minutes, she's just gonna politely excuse herself. Nice meeting you, goodbye. But for that good-looking guy, she's more likely to stay engaged, stay with him, even if he's screwing things up. He's got more leeway to make mistakes, to make errors, essentially. I mean, the good-looking guy, he still needs to have a level of game to keep the girl. If he has no game, she's still gonna leave. But his game could be, say, maybe 50% on point, and she'll still stay there regardless, engaged. She's still gonna hang in there with him. She's gonna keep participating. For the good-looking guy, the interaction is less fragile. It's less likely to break. And by the way, just as a little side note, if you are an average-looking guy, or say you've got average height or below average height, and if you're sick and tired of being ignored by women, if you're sick and tired of girls not calling you back, if you are sick and tired of women not noticing you, and you want to start being treated like one of these tall, good-looking guys, then my friend, I do have a special video for you to watch here at csets.com. Watch this video. It's going to set you down the path of discovering all the little tricks that I use to tweak my looks, as well as other little tricks I've discovered to help get you around this issue of looks and have women once and for all start treating you like you're a good-looking dude. Just type csets.com into your browser, or you're gonna find a link down in the description below and click on that. And simply watching that video will change your life, my friend. And the fourth advantage of tall, good-looking guys is that you can more easily jump directly into having sexual tension with the girl. Now, you create sexual tension when you lock on eye contact with the girl, when you start thinking sexual thoughts about her, you slow your voice down, you start using a lot of pauses. It's when that electric spark of fireworks blasts off between the two of you. And when you're a good-looking guy, not only can you jump to the social hook point immediately, but you can also jump into creating sexual tension with the girl very quickly. Whereas if you're more average looking, you simply can't jump into sexual tension as fast. Like, even once you get to the social hook point, you still gotta loosen her up a bit before you can start laying on the sexual tension thick. I mean, it can certainly all be done. It's just a slower process. It takes a little more time. Now, the fifth advantage that tall, good-looking guys have, my friend, is that it gives you instant compliance. So, for example, imagine you tell the girl, hey, let me see something. I want to see your hand. Come on. Give it up. For a very attractive guy, that girl is likely to comply and just give you her hand. Or imagine you see a girl over there that you like, you go approach her, you go talk to her, you talk for a couple minutes and you tell her, you know what, girl, let's go sit on that bench over there. It's gonna be more comfortable. And even though she barely knows you, you've already got compliance, and she'll say, all right, let's go. In other words, you've already got enough trust and comfort for that girl to follow your lead, and you can just keep moving things forward quick. Whereas for a more regular looking dude, you're simply not going to get that instant ready compliance from her. Instead, you've got to spend more time with her to build up that trust and that comfort to get to that level of compliance you want. And again, if you want to be treated like a handsome dude, where you just get that instant compliance from a girl, go check out csets.com and watch the video there. Now, the sixth advantage of being a tall, attractive man is that many girls, even really hot, beautiful girls, will simply launch into selling themselves to an attractive guy. Whereas normally, the pretty girl assumes the role of the buyer. Faced with an attractive man, she'll assume the role of the seller, meaning she'll start qualifying herself to you and trying to win over your approval. So for example, an attractive guy, he might ask a girl, so tell me here, what have you got going for you more than just your looks? And then the girl will just start qualifying herself, listing out a bunch of things to convince the guy that she's got a lot going for her. The frame right from the very beginning is that he's the buyer and she is trying to make him buy her. Like, I'm the girl worthy of you. And the advantage of the attractive guy is he doesn't need to get the girl to that point. He simply walks into that frame from the very beginning. And all he has to do is focus on keeping her in that seller role. Now, the seventh advantage, specifically for tall guys, is when you're tall, even when the girl is just stunningly attractive, because that beautiful woman is looking up at that tall guy, she will feel naturally beneath him, just biologically. She's going to be much shorter than him, even if she has high heels on. And she's got to look up at him, way up at him. And it's because of that fact that even really beautiful girls will naturally feel submissive. She's gonna feel it far more easy to submit to you. Whereas for a gentleman of regular height, she's simply not gonna feel that. So there you go. Those are the 7 big advantages you'll have being this tall, good-looking dude. But fortunately, if you're not the best-looking guy, there's still a lot you can do to work on your looks and become more handsome. Now, I want to touch on some of the disadvantages of being a good-looking tall guy as well, because it's not all peaches and roses. Very often it's the case that girls will feel a bit more shy, a bit more intimidated by you. Many women will just assume you're very into yourself and superficial. Older women looking for a husband, looking to have kids, they might assume you're not going to be faithful, you're not going to stick around. So for a lot of women, they might feel, attraction, they might feel interest, but they're also very skeptical. And getting over that hurdle is a matter of spending more time with them, making them feel more comfortable with you, because at the end of the day, if you're an attractive guy, they want you to win. They want you to score that point. Now, the second, far bigger problem that good-looking guys have is that they tend to be really lazy. The vast majority of good-looking men never live up to their full potential, usually dating girls that are rather mediocre. I've known some really good looking guys over the years, and I had this one friend where we'd go to a club together and he would just pick a spot and just stand there in the club. He'd just stand there and wait, and eventually girls would come up to him. He'd just plant his feet in one spot like a tree and wait for 15 or 20 minutes, and some girl eventually would just come up to him and open him. And even give him outright compliments. Oh, you've got beautiful hair, you've got beautiful eyes. Him doing nothing, him just standing there. Another trick he used is he'd walk through a crowded dance floor, everyone going crazy, and he'd simply walk through going like this to every single girl, and he'd always come out the other side with a girl on his hand. This guy always had options, and in a sense, it was pretty amazing. But the downside of those good looks is that it makes you incredibly lazy. Because although my friend was getting cute girls, he wasn't getting the 8s and the 9s and the 10s, the girls he really wanted, like the super hotties and the absolute stunners. I mean, the top tier girls, they've got a lot of options too, and they're not going to approach a guy. And my friend was simply just too damn lazy to learn game or to approach girls and make that effort because he was so spoiled getting an endless stream of 6s and 7s. Even mildly good-looking guys, they're used to getting a lot of IOIs, getting eye contact, just walking around, getting noticed by girls, and that makes them lazy too, because they just rest on their laurels of getting attention and they don't approach. As an analogy, just imagine that your parents sent you $3,000 every single month, $50,000 a year, just for being good old you. Now, you can certainly do a lot on $3,000 a month. Have a very comfortable place to live, eat well, play video games all day, maybe go to the beach, hang out with your friends. But you're never going to become super successful in life because it's just too damn easy to be a lazy bastard when you're collecting a $3,000 check. You know that $3,000 check is coming every month. So why are you gonna bust your ass working a 60-hour work week to maybe start a new business? In 99% of cases, you're simply not going to do it. So for the vast majority of very good looking men, they just take those free, easy give-me's and they stop there and that's it. In fact, the funny thing is, it's usually the shorter, less attractive guys that are coming from a place of pain and scarcity that have worked really hard on themselves that you see with some of the very hottest girls. Because they had motivation to reach for the top of the mountain. So there's two conclusions I want you to take from this. Number one, if you are an average looking guy, use that pain as motivation and as leverage to start taking massive action to work on your looks and become a more charismatic guy to girls. Because the fact is, you can date those 8s, 9s, and 10s even more so than the pretty boys if you put the effort into it in a smart way. And second, don't be lazy about your looks. The fact is, there's a lot you can do to pull yourself up to look far more attractive. From increasing your height, to improving that jawline of yours, to getting a better smile, and so on. And again, watch that video here at csets.com because it will lead you down that rabbit hole of looking like a hot, attractive guy and giving you all the benefits that good-looking guys have when it comes to women. All right, my friend, thank you so much for joining me. I had a great time recording this for you, and I will see you in the next video. Jesse out.